Ambassador Factor.
What's up, all my movie-loving maniacs? It's your boy Bankful B of The Last of the Factor, and today I'm going to talk about The Conjuring Last Rites, which was released in theaters over the weekend. I went to the theater to go see it, so let's review. So, The Conjuring Last Rites is the fourth and supposedly last film within the mainline Conjuring films, in which Ed and Lorraine Warren, they do one last case that not only ties back to the very first case, but in a way ties into their family, and it is also the case in which it was their very last before they retired. Meanwhile, while this is going on, their daughter, Judy Warren, not only she discovers that she may also has powers just like her mother, but she also gets engaged. Now, for the past couple of weeks or so, I have gone back and rewatched and reviewed every single Conjuring film. I didn't go back and rewatch the spin-offs like Annabelle, The Nun, and Crissa La Llorona because one, they all vary in quality, and plus I just don't have the time. I could only get back to rewatching the mainline Conjuring films, which I think are the more better films anyway. But to some of my overall thoughts on this universe, like I said, I like the mainline movies, the spin-offs, but Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga as Ed and Lorraine Warren to me are the heart and soul of these movies, and that is due to the fact that they are based on real people that, hey, well, I'm gonna get into that in a little bit. But the first Conjuring film, amazing. The second one, not only is my favorite, but I think is the best within the franchise. And then the third movie, it had its moments. It started off pretty solid, and then it just kind of fell off towards the end. But how do I feel about the fourth movie? I really liked it. It's clearly the weakest of the four movies, but I don't think it's as bad as some people are making it out to be. I mean, I know everybody's not making it out to be bad, but everybody just in agree that it is the weakest of the mainline Conjuring films. Now, I will say, I was a little worried about them saying that this is the last case before they retired, and they put that in the last movie because I feel like we hardly scratched the surface with all their cases. But given where this movie takes place and where Ed and Lorraine are in their journey, it does make sense, and the movie does a good job at presenting that because they're a little bit older, they're more seasoned, and at this point, they're just over demonic possessions and anything of that nature. And I keep putting air quotes when I say last movie because, hey, it's Hollywood, baby. But to me, Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga are the heart and soul of these movies because they are based on real people. And look, whether you believe the real life stories or not, that's up to you to decide. But I just know that if I ever have the opportunity to visit their home that has the basement with all those demonic items and all that, if you ask me if I were to go, my immediate answer would be no. I'm not saying whether or not I believe in supernatural or not. I'm just saying I'm not about to tempt life like that because I like breathing. But like I said, these two are the heart and soul of these movies because they feel like real people that just happen to have a job that I personally wouldn't want to have. And Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga, they have great chemistry here. They definitely clock in to play these roles 110%. They did not miss a step. And their daughter, played by Mia Tomlinson, she plays Judy Warren, their daughter. And like I said, she kind of discovers that she may have some powers just like her mother does. And her mother tries to basically teach her to conceal that, but then comes to terms with like, hey, just embrace this power. And then the boyfriend right here, this is the best picture of him I could find. But the boyfriend, well, the actor, I know he played the drummer in Bohemian Rhapsody. I'm blanking on the actual guy's name, but he also played Angel in X-Men Apocalypse. But he plays the boyfriend here, and Lorraine, she's cool with it, but Ed, not so much, which is typical dad fashion. But he begins to get sucked into this world. My only real gripes about this movie is that it did take a while for the movie to get going, especially in the first act, because this movie is 2 hours and 15 minutes, which is a bit unreasonable for a movie like this. And I'll say I didn't feel the runtime, but I felt it. I felt the runtime more so in the first act of the movie, because, like I said, it took a while to get going. But then by the second act, that's when the movie really started to get going. That's when I was really locked in. And another gripe I have is, yes, despite the fact that I do like that the daughter may have some powers, just like her mother, I feel like the previous movies that featured the daughter didn't really do much to set that up, except for maybe Annabelle Comes Home, because I know they kind of hinted at it in that film, but still, they really didn't do a good job of building to that. However, there was a scene involving a mirror, which is the item within this film. It happens towards the climax of the movie. I'm not going to spoil it, but let's just say they do things with it that I thought was pretty cool. Overall, I think this movie is imperfect, but I did think that it was a pretty satisfying conclusion that tied the series up in a nice little bow, and we even get to see characters from previous movies. I'm going to give The Conjuring Last Rites a very low thumbs up emoji. And here is my ranking of every single film within the Conjuring universe. You can check it out. It's on Letterboxd. Just follow me at Last of the Factor. And yes, I do think, like I said, I think Last Rites is the weakest of the four main Conjuring films. I have it under The Devil Made Me Do It because I do think that movie is a bit imperfect, but I did like how that movie felt a little bit different by adding a court aspect to it. And we get to see more of the investigative side of Ed and Lorraine Warren in that film. Whereas with this film, again, imperfect, but like I said, a satisfying conclusion. Thank you so much for watching. Have y'all seen Conjuring Last Rites? If so, let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. This your boy Bigful B of the Last Factor. Stay safe, wash your hands. Peace.